Hey guys, Micah Curtis here, and another video finally for the Off Topic channel. What I wanted to do this one on, I just got back from seeing Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and just wanted to give my thoughts on the film. I'm not. This is kind of one of my first forays into film review on a video medium, so bear with me if I ramble on a little bit too long. Let me just go ahead and give you the basics. If you're one of the people that didn't watch the second trailer, because basically the whole plot is in that trailer. If you want to watch that real quick instead, but but basically what it is that in the fallout of Man of Steel, and the massive destruction that General Zod and his army caused in Metropolis, and Superman killing Zod. I'm not going to say forced to kill Zod because there's other ways that he could have stopped that situation, but basically the whole world either loves Superman or wants to hold him responsible for something. So a Democratic senator, which I found hilarious because Hollywood has a tendency to demonize Republicans, so the fact that the idiot senator was a Democrat I thought was hilarious. But anyway, a Democratic senator from Kentucky and this board that's deciding something about the Metropolis incident has decided that they're going to hold Superman responsible for all of it, despite the fact that he was trying to stop an alien invasion from terraforming the Earth. So dumb. And before I go any further, one thing I just want to focus on or preface is that dumb is there's a lot of dumb in this story. Just a lot of characters just being really stupid, just for the sake of having the plot being what it is, and that's part of what causes problems. But I'll get to that in a second. So basically, what happens is that Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, is spending the entire film trying to get a big superhero smackdown between Batman and Superman. Batman, portrayed by Ben Affleck in this, is not the kind of Batman that you're going to have, that if you've been playing Batman video games, if you've been watching the Batman films, Christopher Nolan's awesome films, or anything like that, this is not the Batman that you should really be that's not the Batman you should be expecting, the one that actually values life, because this one is the Punisher. He is he's branding sex criminals before they go into jail so that other criminals will kill them. He's gone beyond cruel. And basically what's happening is that there is kind of a pitting between the two, because Clark Kent over at the Daily Planet, his boss, played by Lawrence Fishburne, is trying to get him to be penning all these stories about like sports and things like that. Clark just wants nothing about it. He's got some serious problems with what Batman is currently doing in Gotham and how cruel he has become, and so on and so forth. And he wants to talk about that instead because he sees a major issue there, which I'm inclined to agree with, personally. As I was watching the movie, I'm thinking to myself, like, am I supposed to be siding with Superman on almost everything here? So, and that's another thing I'll have to get to when I analyze it. Basically, after that happens, somehow Luthor deduces who both of them are. He kidnaps Superman's mom and basically maneuvers the two into a superhero smackdown, which is also dumb because Clark could have said, because they apparently both know who each other are as well, or at least he knows who Batman is. So, and he knows that because he was able to deduce it because they were at a party together, and with his super hearing, he could hear somebody talking into Batman's ear as he was planning a device. Oh, and Wonder Woman was there too because she has to be, for whatever reason. So basically, what happens is after that, the two have a fight. Batman actually wins it, but he just does it because he uses kryptonite weaponry. So, yeah. And then Doomsday shows up, because why not? And they have a fight that actually makes a little bit more sense. Wonder Woman shows up, because why not? And Superman has to sacrifice himself to save the day. And I know that there's I obviously put a spoiler warning in the title, but still, that this is an incredibly infuriating film. But that's basically the plot. Is at the end of it, they said, oh, now we need to put a Justice League together in his absence, and then you hear a heartbeat, and then they hint at someone coming that Jesse Eisenberg has apparently found out about. So with that out of the way, I just wanted to take like 5 minutes to talk about the plot. With that out of the way, I want to kind of give you my dissection of it. This movie sucks. This is a terrible film. Of all of the major superhero films to come out since 2008, this is easily the worst. And I liked Man of Steel a lot, actually. I wouldn't call it a great film. It was good, in my opinion. It had some problems, especially with the whole Killing Zod thing. But it doesn't make a whole lot of... this film just doesn't make a whole lot of sense because of how dumb it is. The fact that David Goyer was the screenwriter actually gave me some hope for it. And then I remembered, oh yeah, he wrote Blade Trinity. So, but let me just kind of warn you guys here. This is going to be a long rant from a guy who's been reading comic books since he was a little kid. DC and Marvel. More Marvel than DC, but I still have an appreciation for Superman. I love Batman. And I've read plenty of Wonder Woman and really loved Gail Simone's run on that comic, and etc., etc. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about... I want to get Batman out of the way, get Ben Affleck out of the way. Ben Affleck is not bad in this role. I don't understand why he's getting praised for it. Some of my friends and people I've watched have praised him. I didn't understand why. I really think that anybody could have done this role, because there really isn't much to Batman in this. They're kind of assuming that you understand the basics of the Batman character, even though they kind of, show you Bruce's parents dying at the beginning. But what troubles me is the simple fact that it's not Batman. This, like I said, he's closer to the Punisher than he is Batman. He is killing people in this movie. He guns them down with miniguns. There's one guy he kills by blowing up a gas tank on his back because he's holding a flamethrower, because flamethrowers are so practical, right? The idea that Batman, any Batman, especially one that two people who were involved in the Dark Knight trilogy, you had hands in this film, allowed to be portrayed, is beyond me. Because he's a murderer. He's a killer. He's a psychopath in this film. He's gone mad. He should literally be in a loony bin. He has become what the Joker always wanted him to be. And they made that with no irony. And I'm not going to place blame on any one person, because I think that Ben Affleck probably doesn't know that much about Batman. He's too busy whining about supposed people hating people being racist towards Muslims. 2, I don't think Zack Snyder really has that much of a care for source material when it comes to films sometimes. I think that some films come across that he just doesn't give a shit. Look at Watchmen. And I think that there might have been studio interference. Maybe they see characters in Marvel who have killed people in the comics, so, them doing it in the films kind of makes more sense. And they're like, oh, we want to be kind of edgy and things like that, so let's have Batman have an edge. No! Part of what makes Batman so great is the fact that he's not willing to go there, and he goes out of his way to make sure he never goes there. He will break you. He will do some nasty stuff to you. He will not kill you. But but he'll leave you with a limp for the rest of your life if you make the wrong decision in your existence. And that really bothered me about this portrayal, is just this idea that he's just indiscriminately killing people, and he's in situations consistently where he could have done something at a later point and avoided all of the death. In fact, there are some scenes in this film that are absolutely pointless that are associated with him. First and foremost, there's a scene in this film, for some reason, evidently Batman is clairvoyant, or it has something to do with the Flash going back in time and telling him something in his own dreams. It's not really well done. Like I said, this movie is dumb. But it's so poorly done that you don't really understand what's going on. But he sees a dystopian future, which is like instead of Mad Max, it's Batmax. where he's, again, indiscriminately killing people. You see parademons, so the assumption is that this is like Darkseid has taken over the Earth, which I'm guessing that they are leaning towards retelling the story that was at the beginning of the new Justice League in the New 52, where the new terrible design of Darkseid comes in and wrecks shop. Which again sucks because New 52 Darkseid is awful. But anyway, so Superman has become a tyrant. They hint that Batman killed Lois Lane, and so he kills Batman in the dream. Again, it makes no sense. So, in this particular dream, he doesn't come to the conclusion that, maybe I should leave Superman alone, or try to earn his allegiance, or try to figure him out, instead of trying to kill him. That's not the conclusion he comes to, from the idea that he sees a world that is spurned on by Superman losing Lois Lane. Dumb. He's dumb in this film. That's what infuriates me. That's what makes the Batman character in this film so stupid, or so terrible. And it's not Ben Affleck's fault. Like I said, he tries to do what he can with it. But even, I don't think anybody could have done anything with this piss poor writing. It was just fuck awful. Lex Luthor, in part of this, in trying to ruin Superman's reputation, starts to make some smart moves, and then just blows up the Capitol building for reasons. Why on earth he thought that planting a bomb in the Capitol building would make people hate Superman is beyond me. And the weird thing about all of this is that it feels like Superman and Lois Lane are the only sane people in this entire film. Oh, and Alfred, who is played by Jeremy Irons, who does a great job. I'll give him credit for that. But, seriously, Clark is just a guy trying to do the right thing. Lois is a reporter who is trying to do the right thing. And, trying to understand how this whole thing is going on. And everybody else looks like an idiot. It's, for Batman to be duped so easily, and to be so paranoid, is not explained, aside from these clairvoyant dreams, which, to be honest, still make him look like a madman when you look at them objectively. So, Batman's dumb. Everybody around him is dumb. Jeremy Irons, as Alfred, calls out Batman for being stupid, and branding people, and going to lengths that he shouldn't be going to. Oh my god, this is such a terrible film. Like, seriously, this is... To go from seeing... The last film I saw in theaters was Deadpool, which was really good, to seeing this kind of reminds me of how bad comic book movies have been in the past and still can be. Another thing is Doomsday. What a waste. I mean, I don't even understand why you even needed a Batman vs. Superman fight. Because Lex Luthor doesn't even give a good reason for it. Because he creates Doomsday. What does he need Batman for? Where's the end game here? And he gives this... I'll tell you this. Lex Luthor is the worst theologian. Because if you're all-powerful, you can't be good. Well, what if the all-powerful defines what good is by the nature that it created the universe? Lex Luthor is dumb in this film. And it's mostly the fault of the scripting and Jesse Eisenberg. Because Jesse Eisenberg is the worst Lex Luthor ever. He doesn't play Lex Luthor as Lex Luthor. He plays Lex Luthor as the Joker. That's what he is. He's auditioning for the Joker. I'm thinking he auditioned for Joker in Suicide Squad, and then he saw that Joker's going to look like a cholo, and just decided, I think I'll try Lex Luthor instead. He was more Lex Luthor in The Social Network than he was in this film. That's what's fucking stupid. He's all goofy and... look at me, I'm an artist, and trying to be eccentric, but that's not Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is not eccentric and goofy, and yeah, I eat candy, and look at me, millennials, try to like me. That's what the whole thing is like reaching for. And instead what you get is a character that doesn't really come across as being that brilliant. He's completely reliant on other people to get his job done. And he's a psychopath. He's not cold and calculating. He's really dumb. I mean, nothing about his plan makes sense. I'm gonna get Batman and Superman to fight, and it's okay. And like I said, he's got Doomsday. And Doomsday is basically created from the corpse of Zod in the Kryptonian ship with this MacGuffin liquid and a bit of Lex's blood because reasons. We're supposed to expect that again, another MacGuffin is the blood of Lex Luthor. And when you combine plot devicium with MacGuffin, you get energy-absorbing monster who looks like a retarded or Down syndrome version of one of the Locusts from Gears of War. Doomsday is awful looking in this. Now, he does present a really good threat in this, in the idea that I really dig the final fight scene in this film. It's actually really well done, because it takes a villain that is hard to stop, and you see that the heroes that are present do not have the means to stop it, so they must go to extraordinary means to pull it off. That's good storytelling, and the only good storytelling, in my opinion, in this entire film. Another thing, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. I like the idea of Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman, and she's not bad in this film, but she didn't need to be in this film. It didn't make a lick of sense. Basically, they just put her in as another body to throw at Doomsday. And I don't know. This is just not a good movie. In fact, I just want to rant more about Jesse Eisenberg. I really can't think of a worse cast choice out there. And they misunderstand the character of Lex Luthor so much. You can't look at Gene Hackman and get an idea of how he's supposed to be, or you can't look at heck, even Kevin Spacey was a better Lex Luthor than this. Kevin Spacey was the only thing good about Superman Returns. So it's just such a clusterfuck of a movie. And I think that if there's any blame to be thrown around, it should be directly at the feet of Zack Snyder. I honestly am scared of the fact that they have put so much investment in him from here on in as kind of the main guy behind this DC film universe, when there are other directors out there that could be doing a much better job at it. I think that he really was the wrong person to pick, because really he has one of the most inconsistent film careers that you could ever look at. But the whole thing with Jesse Eisenberg that bothers me, it literally is everything about the performance of trying to make him not cold and calculating. You know, in my opinion, the definitive way of telling this kind of a story was already done. Because you have... There was a DC Animated Universe film, or I think it was a two-parter called World's Finest, Batman and Superman. And you have, obviously, that tremendous voice cast. You have Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor, and he was phenomenal as Lex Luthor in that series. And, of course, you've got Mark Hamill as the Joker, Kevin Conroy as Batman. You know, it's an amazing cast. And the storyline in that is basically what this film should have been. You know, I think to myself, I actually went and watched that yesterday before I saw this movie today. And I thought to myself, like, there's no way that they can even come close to this. Because this Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice did not show off any really defining character trait of any of the heroes except for Superman. Superman comes out of this looking and affirming who he is as a person. He is selfless. He is able to sacrifice himself. He is willing to go the extra yard for people. He is not... I was kind of bugged by the idea that they tried to put him as Super Jesus, but the sequence that they did with all these people debating whether or not he's God, basically, they kind of emphasize the idea that he's not. Maybe he's just a dude with superpowers, which is exactly what part of the reason that I liked Man of Steel so much, is because he was just a guy with superpowers. He was just a guy from Kansas. He didn't see himself as Christ. He saw himself as a person, as a human who was raised, or adopted and raised by other people. And being somebody that is adopted, I love that part of the Superman mythos, is the idea is that he is Earth's adopted son. And he loves this world because he grew up among people that defined him as a person, and he wants to go forward and continue to be that. And you see that people that he showed mercy on in his childhood ended up becoming really good people as time went on. One became a priest, another one manages a business, so on and so forth. So, he looks great. He is very well done. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman in this film, and I think that that's the one constant in this that has been really good. I don't think it's the best Superman ever. Obviously I like the animated Superman a lot better. And then Christopher Reeves' Superman was amazing. So, he's still good. I think that he was the only thing at points that really kept me from walking out of this movie. Because it was an insult to my senses. I almost wish that I could have come in here and said, I don't know what happened in the last half of this movie because I walked out. But, yeah, this movie sucks. This movie, don't watch it. Don't go see it. If you've been thinking about even going for like a $5 matinee, don't do it. Don't waste your money. Go buy soda. You will get more enjoyment out of a 2-liter of soda than you will this film. Because the soda will last longer and taste better. Because this movie really leaves a foul taste in my mouth. The great thing about it is that I know for a fact that it really solidifies that Marvel has a better direction than DC does going forward. Which I feel bad for DC Comics fans in that regard. Because some of them are going to be apologists for movies like this, and you shouldn't be. You should demand better things from these companies that can invest millions upon millions of dollars to give you drivel when they could, and other film companies are investing millions of dollars and giving you great product. So, fuck this movie. Fuck it right up its ass. Don't watch it. Don't go see it. Just chill at home. Watch World's Finest. Get some soda and some popcorn, because it's much better, honestly. So with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis. If you enjoyed this here on the Off Topic channel, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. Throw a like, share it around if you agree or disagree, and let me know what you think in the comments as well. Because I think this is going to be a divisive film as it goes forward, and I'd like to hear what other people are thinking. But with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis. See you next time.